They thought I was just a helpless single father until they learned I was a federal judge. I come home from my night shift at the hospital, and my son and daughter aren't there. I check my phone and see 17 missed calls from a number I don't recognize. I call back and it's the HOA office telling me Child Protective Services came because someone reported me for neglect, and my kids are at the community center for their safety. I drive there in 8 minutes with my hands shaking, and when I walk into that conference room, I see Mitchell Stevens at the head of the table in an expensive suit with a smug smile. My daughter's crying, and my son won't look at me. Stevens slides papers across showing a $750 family safety evaluation fee and $120,000 estimated legal defense costs. He leans back and folds his arms. A single father working night shifts? The court will hear about your neglect. Those kids deserve better than a deadbeat vet. That's when I remember who I am. James Cooper, 41 years old, federal judge for the Northern District of Georgia, living in Marietta with 2 kids I'd die for. I take my kids home and tuck them in, then pull out my federal credentials, my JAG officer records, and case files showing 217 CPS abuse cases. I make 3 calls to the FBI, the U.S. Attorney, and the State Bar. Monday morning, Stevens gets federal agents at his door with an arrest warrant. Filing false CPS reports with intent to extort violates 18 U.S.C. Section 1001. Threatening to take children from a service member violates the Service Members Civil Relief Act, and obstructing a federal judge falls under Section 1503. My security cameras caught everything with time-stamped footage of my kids with their babysitter, my hospital records, and the CPS report finding 0 neglect. Stevens' texts to 3 HOA board members show them planning this to force me to sell my house to his developer friend. Within 72 hours, the U.S. Attorney adds extortion, conspiracy, and deprivation of rights charges. Stevens' law license gets suspended, his HOA presidency terminated, his reputation destroyed. The jury awards $1.2 million for the $95,000 my kids need in trauma therapy, plus lost wages and emotional distress. Stevens' assets get frozen, and the HOA's insurance fund gets drained. 6 months later, I watch the jury return guilty on all counts. The judge sentences him to 18 years in federal prison. My kids are safe now, and every night when I tuck them in, they know their dad fought for them. Guess some deadbeat vets know a thing or two about justice. Have you ever been targeted for being a single parent? Drop your story below.